Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Living Lean Six Sigma. I'm Karina, and I'm continuing on part 6 on the Airframe A&P test book. Section Aircraft Instrument Systems. Question. An aircraft magnetic compass is swung to update the compass correction card when? Answer. Equipment is added that could affect compass deviation. Question. Which of the following operating mechanisms would be found in a hydraulic pressure gauge? Answer. Bourdon tube. Question. What is the fixed line mark attached to the compass bowl of a magnetic compass called? Answer. Lubber line. Question. Which one's true, which one's false? Statement 1. Aircraft instruments are color-coded to direct attention to operational ranges and limitations. 2. Aircraft instruments range markings are not specified by Title 14 of Code of CFR, but are standardized by aircraft manufacturers. Answer. Only number 1 is true. Statement 2 is not true. Aircraft's instrument range markings are specified in the appropriate type certificate datasheet, which are according to 14 CFR 21.41a, part of the type certificate. A part of the type certificate. Question. Which of the following will cause inaccuracies in a magnetic compass that may be compensated for an aircraft mechanic? Answer. Deviation. Question. What will be the result if the instrument static pressure line becomes disconnected inside a pressurized cabin during cruise flight? Answer. The altimeter and airspeed indicator will both read low. Question. The maximum deviation during level flight permitted in a compensated magnetic direction indicator installed on an aircraft certified under CAR Part 23 is? Answer. 10 degrees. Note, nothing greater than 10 degrees on any heading. Question. Magnetic compass bowls are filled with a liquid to, answer, dampen the oscillation of the float. Question. Instrument static system leakage can be detected by observing the rate of change in indication of the, answer, altimeter after suction has been applied to the static system to cause a prescribed equivalent altitude to be indicated. Question. The maximum altitude loss permitted during an unpressurized aircraft instrument static pressure system integrity check is? Answer. 100 feet in 1 minute. Question. Which statement regarding an aircraft instrument vacuum system is true? Answer. Dry type vacuum pumps with carbon vanes are very susceptible to damage from solid airborne particles and must take in only filtered air. Question. When an aircraft altimeter is set at 29.92, that's mercury. Mercury on the ground, the altimeter will read, answer, pressure altitude. Note, when the barometric scale on an aircraft altimeter is set to 29.92 inches of mercury, the altimeter reads pressure altitude, the altitude above standard sea level. Question. Which of the following instrument discrepancies could be corrected by an aviation mechanic? Answer. red line missing, mounting screws loose, case paint chipped, leaking at line B-nut. Okay. 1, 4, 5, 6, 1, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Question. Which of the following instrument discrepancies would require replacement of the instrument? Answer. Case leaking, glass cracked, will not zero out, fogged. Question. Which instrument condition is acceptable and would not require correction? Answer. Case paint chipped. So what's different between the two is this one is case paint chipped is the only one of these problems that would not require correction, versus the previous question said chipped paint on the outside of the instrument case in the notes section. Okay. Question. A barometric altimeter indicates pressure altitude when the barometric scale is set at, answer, 29.92 Hg, which is mercury. Oh, inches of mercury. Question. At sea level, when the average atmospheric pressure is 14.7 psi, the barometric pressure is, answer, 29.92 inch mercury. Note, in aviation, there's a commonly used pressure known as standard pressure, which refers to an established or standard value that has been created for atmospheric pressure. That is 29.92 inches of mercury, 1013.2 hectopascals, or 14.7 psi. Question. A board-on tube instrument may be used to indicate, answer, pressure and temperature. Question. A turn coordinator instrument indicates, answer, both roll and yaw. Okay. Question. Aircraft temperature thermocouple leads may, answer, not be altered and are designed for a specific installation. Question. A synchro transmitter is connected to a synchro receiver. Answer, electrically with wires. Question. The operation of an angle of attack indicating system is based on detection of differential pressure at a point where the airstream flow in a direction, answer, not parallel to the true angle of attack of the aircraft. Question. Turbine engine exhaust gas temperatures are measured by, answer, Cromel-Alumel thermocouples. Question. Fuel flow transmitters are designed to transmit data, answer, electrically. Question. Which of the following causes of aircraft magnetic compass inaccuracies may be compensated for by mechanics? That's a weird question. Answer, deviation. Question. Who is authorized to repair an aircraft instrument? Answer, a certified repair station approved for that class instrument. Nothing else. Question. A certificated mechanic with at least an airframe rating may perform, answer, inspections and function checks on aircraft instruments. Question. What does a reciprocating engine manifold pressure gauge indicate when the engine is not operating? Answer. The existing atmospheric pressure. Question. The requirements for testing and inspecting of instrument static pressure systems required by Section 91.411 are contained in answer Part 43, Appendix E, as in echo. Question. Which condition would be most likely to cause excessive vacuum in a vacuum system? Answer. Vacuum relief valve improperly adjusted. Question. Data transmitter between components in an EFIS are converted into answer. Digital signals. Question. The function of a CRT is an EFIS. No. The function of a CRT in an EFIS is to answer. Display alphanumeric data and representations of aircraft instruments. Question. The function of a symbol generator in an EFIS is to answer. Receive and process input signals from aircraft and engine sensors and send that data to the appropriate display. Note, EFIS is Electronic Flight Instrument System, and it has three subsystems. The Pilot Display System, PDS, the Co-Pilot Display System, CDS, and the Weather Radar, WX. Co-pilot and pilot are identical and contain two cathode ray tubes, display, a symbol generator, a display controller, and a source select panel. Question. The function of a display controller in an EFIS is to answer. Allow the pilot to select the appropriate system configuration for the current flight situation. Question. A radar altimeter determines altitude by answer. Transmitting a signal and receiving back a reflected signal. Question. A radar altimeter indicates answer. Altitude above ground level. Question. Resistance type temperature indicators using Wheatstone bridge or ratiometer circuits may be used to indicate the temperature of which of the following? Answer. Free air, carburetor air, coolant engine, and oil temperature. Question. When flags such as nav, heading, or GS are displayed on the HSI, the indication is answer. That function is inoperative. These are warning flags. Question. Instrument panel shock mounts absorb answer. Low frequency, high amplitude shocks. Question. Which procedure should you use if you find a vacuum operated instrument glass loose? Answer. Install another instrument. Question. Which instruments are connected to an aircraft's pedostatic system? Answer. Vertical speed indicator, altimeter, and airspeed indicator. Question. Which of the following instruments will normally have range markings? Answer. Cylinder head temperature gauge, airspeed indicator. Question. How would an airspeed indicator be marked to show the best rate of climb speed on an engine inoperative? Answer. A blue radial line. Question. The green arc on an aircraft temperature gauge indicates, answer, the desirable temperature range. Question. What must be done to an instrument panel that is supported by shock mounts? Answer. Bonding straps must be installed across the instrument mounts as a current path. Question. What marking colors is used to indicate if a cover glass has slipped? Answer. White. Question. Aircraft instruments should be marked and graduated in accordance with, answer, the specific aircraft maintenance or flight manual. Question. Aircraft instrument panels are generally shock mounted to absorb, answer, low frequency, high amplitude shocks. Question. The method of mounting aircraft instruments in their respective panels depends on, answer, design of the instrument case. Question. How is a flangeless instrument case mounted in an instrument panel? Answer. By an expanding type clamp secured to the back of the panel and tightened by a screw from the front of the instrument panel. Question. Cases for electrically operated instruments are made of, answer, iron or steel. Question. When installing an instrument in an aircraft, who is responsible for making sure it is properly marked? Answer, the mechanic installing the instrument. Question. Where may a person look for the information necessary to determine the required markings on an engine instrument? Answer, aircraft flight manuals or aircraft maintenance manuals. Question. A certificated mechanic with airframe and power plant ratings may, answer, not perform repairs to aircraft instruments. Yes. Question. The red radial lines on the face of an engine oil pressure gauge indicates, answer, minimum and or maximum safe operating limits. Question. A certificated mechanic may perform, answer, 100-hour inspections of instruments. Question. An aircraft instrument panel is electrically bonded to the aircraft structure to, answer, provide current return paths. Grounding. Question. How many of the following are controlled by gyroscopes? Answer, 3. That it makes sense. The answer is turn needle of the turn and slip indicator. Question. The lubber line on a directional gyro is used to, answer, represent the nose of the aircraft. Question. Which instruments are connected to an aircraft's static pressure system only? Answer, vertical speed indicator and altimeter. Question. When an unpressurized aircraft's static pressure system is leak checked to comply with the requirements of Section 91.411, what aircraft instrument may be used in lieu of pitot-static system tester? Answer, altimeter. Question. If a static pressure system check reveals excessive leakage, the leaks may be located by, answer, isolating portions of the line and testing each portion systematically starting at the instrument connections. Troubleshooting. Question. When performing the static system leakage check required by Section 91.411, The technician utilizes, answer, negative pressure. Next section, communication and navigation systems. Question, what is the primary purpose of an autopilot? Answer, to relieve the pilot of control of the aircraft during long periods of flight. Question, which of the following provides manual maneuverability of the aircraft while the autopilot is engaged? Answer, flight controller. Question, in an autopilot, which signal nullifies the input signal to the ailerons? Answer, follow-up signal. Question, in which control element of an autopilot system is an attitude indicator? Answer, sensing. Question, which is the operating principle of the sensing device used in the autopilot system? Answer, the relative motion between a gyro and its supporting system. Question, what will occur if an aircraft attitude is changed by its autopilot system in order to correct for an error and the involved control surfaces are returned to streamline by the time the aircraft has reached its correct position? Answer, normal operation. Question, what component of an autopilot system applies torque to the control surfaces of an aircraft? Answer, servo. Question, what is the main purpose of a servo in an autopilot system? Answer, move the control surface as commanded. Question, which channel of an autopilot detects changes in pitch attitude of an aircraft? Answer, elevator. Question, the elevator channel of an autopilot controls the aircraft about which axis of rotation? Answer, lateral. Question, what component is the sensing device in an electromechanical autopilot system? Answer, gyro. Pitch, roll, and yaw. Question, a fully integrated autopilot controls the aircraft around how many axes? Answer, 3. Pitch, roll, and yaw. Question, Dutch roll, a combination yawing and rolling oscillation that affects many swept-wing aircrafts, is counteracted with? Answer, a yaw damper system. Question, when operationally checking an autopilot system on the ground, after the aircraft's main power has been switched on, the autopilot should be engaged. Answer, only after the gyros come up to speed and the amplifiers warm up. Question, installed radio equipment is protected from damage due to jolts and vibration by? Answer, shock mounts. That doesn't make sense. Does that sense? Yeah. Okay. Question, which one's true? Statement 1 or statement 2? And or. 1. Use solder to attach bonding jumpers on radio equipment. 2. Radio equipment is bonded to the aircraft in order to provide a low impedance ground and to minimize radio interference from static electrical charges. Answer, only number 2 is true. Statement 1 is false. According to AC 4313-2A, it recommends that you avoid the use of solder when attaching bonding jumpers. Clamps and screws are preferred. Question, when must the radio station license be displayed in an aircraft equipment with two-way radio? Answer, when the aircraft is operating outside of the U.S. Question. When would a U.S. resident not be required to hold an FCC restricted radio telephone operator permit to operate two-way aircraft VHF radio equipment? Answer. When flying or communicating within the U.S. Question. Part of the ADF system, note automatic direction finder, used on aircraft includes, answer, sense and loop antennas. Question. When installing coaxial cables, it should be secured firmly along its entire length. Answer. At 2-foot intervals. Question. When must the emergency locator transmitter, ELT, battery be replaced other than regarding the replacement date? Answer. When the transmitter has been in use for more than one cumulative hour. Question. An emergency locator transmitter battery must be capable of furnishing power signals transmissions for at least, answer, 48 hours. Question. The preferred location of an ELT is, answer, as far aft possible but forward of the empennage. Question. An emergency locator transmitter is normally activated by an inertial switch or equivalent mechanism if subjected to a force of a prescribed intensity and duration. It must be activated when the force is applied. Answer. Parallel to the longitudinal axis of the aircraft. Question. How may the battery replacement date be verified for an ELT? Answer. By observing the battery replacement date marked on the outside of the transmitter. Question. How may the operation of an installed ELT be verified during aircraft inspection? Answer. By tuning a communications receiver to the civil emergency frequency and activating the ELT momentarily within 5 minutes aft of the hour. Question. Static dischargers help eliminate radio interference by dissipating static electrically into the atmosphere at, answer, low current levels. Question. Aircraft antennae must be grounded to the, answer, airframe. Question. VHF radio signals are commonly used in, answer, both VOR nav and ATC comm. Note, VOR is a very high frequency omni range, and then ATC is air traffic control. Question. On modern large aircraft, what electronic device typically monitors flight parameters and performs autopilot functions? Answer. Flight manager computers. FMCs. Question. In the landing configurations, GPWS typically monitors the radio, radar altimeter, air data computer, instrument landing system, and, answer, landing gear and flap positions. Note, GPWS is ground proximity warning system. Question. In general, the purpose of an aircraft transponder is to, answer, receive an interrogation signal from the ground station and automatically send a reply back. Question. When an antenna is installed, it should be fastened, answer, so that the load imposed are transmitted to the aircraft structure. Question. After an automatic direction finding has been installed, answer, The loop must be calibrated. Question. Doublers are used when antennas are installed to answer, reinstate the structural strength of the aircraft skin. Question. One antenna can be used for the radio range and standard broadcast bands in light aircraft because answer, two ranges are close together. Question. What characteristics of the installation of a rigid antenna on a vertical stabilizer should be evaluated? Answer. Flutter and vibration. Question. A gasket or sealant is used between the antenna mast, and fuselage skin. Answer. To prevent the entry of moisture. Question. The preferred location of a VOR antenna on light aircraft is, answer, top of the cabin with the apex of the V pointing forward. Question. The purpose of a localizer is to, answer, align the airplane with the center of the runway. Question. Refer to figure. What is the approximate drag load on an antenna with the frontal area of 0.125 square feet installed on an aircraft with a speed of 225 miles per hour? Answer. 2.069 pounds. You have to use this formula. Squared. A is the area, so it's 0.125 square feet, and then velocity, which is speed, is 225 miles per hour. Okay, question. Refer to the same figure, meaning the same formula. What is the approximate drag load on the antenna with the frontal area of 0.137 square feet installed on the aircraft with a speed of 275 miles per hour? Answer is 3.3879 pounds. Question. A DME antenna should be installed on the aircraft in a position that will, answer, not be blanked out by the wind when the aircraft is banked. Question. When bending coaxial cables, the bend radius should be at least, answer, 10 times the diameter of the cable. Question. When installing a DME antenna, it should be aligned with the, answer, center line on the airplane. Question. Refer to figure. Which of these antennas shows a typical DME antenna? Answer. Number 1. Question. Refer to figure. Which of the antennas shows a typical glide slope antenna? Answer. This one. Number 2. Question. Refer to figure. What kind of antenna is this? Answer. This is a loop and sense antenna. Looks like an egg. Refer to figure. What is this antenna used for? Answer. This is an altitude encoder used with a transponder. And refer to figure. What kind of antenna is this? Answer. A dipole antenna. It's the V-shaped one. I'm going to stop here. It looks like we're just going to go through antennas. No, I'm almost done. Okay. All right. What kind of antenna is this? Answer, a canted antenna. What is this antenna? Where is the strongest signal for this antenna? Answer, above the antenna. I'm not sure if that makes sense. Okay, note, the strongest signal comes from or received at 90 degrees to the length of the antenna. There is no field generated off the end of the antenna. Okay, question. What kind of antenna is this? Answer, this is number 6. A radar beacon transponder antenna. Okay, and then what kind of antenna is this? An ELT antenna. Then what kind of antenna is this? A VOR and localized antenna. What kind of antenna is this? Answer, a lightning detector system antenna. And then what kind of antenna is this? This is a marker beacon receiver antenna. What kind of antenna is this? Answer, a radar beacon transponder antenna. And then what kind of antenna is this? This is a VOR glide slope antenna. And then what kind of antenna is this? This is a VOR glide slope antenna. Oops. Question. The addition of avionics and associated antenna systems forward of the CG limit will affect, answer, empty weight and useful load. Question. How much clearance from the seat bottom is required when installing radio equipment under a seat? Answer, 1 inch with the seat occupied and subjected to maximum downward seat spring deflection. Question. The purpose of a glide slope system is to, answer, assist the pilot in making a correct angle of descent to the runway. Thanks for sticking around for this section. We completed it, and next video will be aircraft fuel systems. Thanks for watching me. I'm Karina, living Lean Six Sigma.